There we go. Okay. My name is Duncan Wierman. I hail from Greenville, South Carolina. I, however, have business streams of income all around the country doing different models of real estate investing. Los Angeles happens to be one of those areas where we run a fix and flip business, we run a lease option business out of Ohio, and a multifamily business in the southeast of the United States. How I originally ended up in LA for this business is I kept hearing people complain and whine and whine and whine. It was impossible to find deals in LA, and if you find a deal, there was no money there, and people were overbuying. They were buying properties over the asking price. And I'm like, gosh, guys, if that's all you're running against, you're marketing in the wrong place. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yes. Anybody here having trouble getting deals in this area? Yeah. Well, I'm going to show you how. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it's all about marketing and how you can do everything I do utilizing the internet. So I'm going to share with you tonight, okay, we're going to get done by 9 o'clock, I'm going to show you how I find private money, hungry buyers, and motivated sellers. Because we want to find houses under market value, okay? We want to find tons of buyers for them, which is easy out here to get multiple offers on, and how to do this business without using a lot of your own money, okay? So I like to automate this. You're running a business. You're not trying to run a mom and pop shop, okay? You've got to start thinking like a chief executive officer, that you're running a business and you delegate teams. So what you can't delegate with a team, you automate with software. I'm going to share with you my system, and 90% of the work is done for you by using processes, all right? So I am not the type of person who goes and chases after people, okay? I'm a little bit lazier than that. I want motivated sellers to come to me and hungry buyers to come to me. I don't want to waste a lot of time, following up. So I'm going to show you how that gets done automatically. I said most of the stuff I do is through the internet. I'd say 90% of it. There are still areas of marketing that I believe offline marketing will work. And how many people here are doing some form of marketing every single week in their business? Yes, sir. What do you do?
We market for sellers as well as private.
Excellent. I like every week. Anything in particular that you're doing?
As far as the letters, you mean?
You're doing that. Okay, so you're doing direct mail.
Direct mail.
Okay, and I think there is a reason still to do direct mail in this business. What I'm aiming for to do is get more leads online and faster than I can do with direct mail. Though direct mail still is a great opportunity, and I'll show you what list I work when doing direct mail. There are always people in the room that feel they could break the internet or they don't know how to turn a PC on. So I am going to be sharing a couple strategies for people that might fall into that, but I will show you tonight how to double and triple your response rate to the marketing you're doing. Real estate investing to me is a science. We do not never buy a property and speculate that you're going to make money. When do you make your money?
When you buy.
When you buy. Good. We all know that. So these are checks here from California that this is actually working and makes us a ton of money. Even if you got a deal, does everybody know what subject to investing is? Taking over somebody's payment?
Yeah.
Okay? If you could take over somebody's house payment and assign that deal for a fee or collect the cash flow on it, would that be a good deal if it came to you free?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We'll show you how to do that. The thing is, you have to start using and doing things in a new way, and that's utilizing the internet so that deals still come to you. If you do this business right, you only need 5 to 10 hours a week to do it the way I'm going to show you to do. You don't need 40 hours a week, okay? We don't want another job. We want a lifestyle, okay? So you've got to set up systems to allow the internet to bring us leads. I'll give you a little bit of background about myself and how I got into this. When I got out of college, I went into the Navy and the Marine Corps. I served my terms, and I thought at the end of that term, I would come home and start a business. But I got a job offer to go work overseas, okay? And I took it, and I thought it'd be back in 1 to 2 years. What actually happened was I stayed away out of this country for 22 years. Did not step foot in it for 22 years, okay? So when the tech bubble crashed, remember in 2000, right? I was still hanging on, but I couldn't hang on any more than 2003. Okay, so I returned to the United States, and in June of 2003, I came to the U.S. and I landed in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, that was the beginning of my career. I watched an infomercial commercial, and the guy said how much money he made in real estate. I whipped out my credit card, all right, and I bought his course, and that's how I got my start. But when you buy something off the TV like that, problems begun is that you're buying outdated material, you think this guy knows what he's doing, and they're just trying to sell you more stuff. So his stuff really didn't work for me, and I had all these struggles and challenges, and I had, you know, a family that I have to provide for. My instinct at the time was I have to do a deal to survive. That's how I started. Okay, no money, no credit, etc. I'll share with that later. These are my three girls. Picture's a little bit old because having three girls, you can imagine getting all three together in one place, and to smile is very difficult. Okay, I have a lot of estrogen in my house. Okay, guys, you know what I mean. So
that's your wife?
Well, I wish she would dress up for me like that sometimes. Take a mental note on that one. Mental note. Okay, so I came back and after 20 years with no credit, little savings. I had about 6 months of savings to live off of. No banking references, no knowledge of the area. I was totally out of touch. So I had really to start from scratch. And I want to make a point here that we all have our own struggles. We all have our own challenges. But I will say, if you pick one thing and focus on it, and you take action, you can be extremely successful. It's how bad do you want this? Okay? Like I said, my first goal was, man, I just got to do a deal to survive. Okay, that's where I started out. So I want you to have an epiphany here as we go through this, because I'm going to teach you a new way to do new things. And you've got to get out of that old-fashioned way of doing things, because if you continue to do what you're currently doing in this business, you're going to continue what you're getting. And that might be good, but is it good enough? Will it take us to the next level to make a lot of money? Okay? If you're doing things now and not getting any deals done, you're doing something wrong and we need to change. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Okay? You got to open your mind. So my first 6 months, this is what they told me to do. They said, and remember, I had no money, but they said, oh, you got to go out and get cash flowing rental property. Well, yeah, how do you do that if you have no money? Well, you have to do it subject to. But the thing is you have to start cold calling people and all this stuff. And I'm going to tell you the numbers. It took me 100 phone calls before I got my first deal. Okay? My slowest student in California, it took him 137 phone calls and offers before he got his first deal. But his first check was $30,000. So let me ask you, would you be willing to do 100 phone calls to get $30,000?
Yes.
Okay, because you got to do the work, okay? There's no get quick. We can make it simple, but you still got to do some work, all right? At the time, people actually read newspapers. Anybody here read the newspaper anymore? No. So don't worry about putting ads in newspapers. How about calling for sale by owners? Who does that? I used to do it. My 100 phone calls. I'd call for sale by owners, and I would call all the for rent ads because I thought those were landlords who would have trouble with their properties, okay? And they all thought it'd be crazy calling up saying, well, how much do you own on that property, and what's your mortgage payment? Can I just take it over from you? And they're like, what are you talking about? Okay? But if you make 100 calls, somebody's going to say yes, okay? So, bandit signs. Who puts out bandit signs here in LA? Right. I tell you what, these things are they legal here? No. Okay, when I started, they weren't legal. So why are you trying to do illegal stuff that doesn't work as well as it used to do 20 years ago? Now, there is a place for mailing, but here's the thing most people don't know is where they could feel is they buy a real estate course, and the first thing the course says is you got to go send out 5,000 postcards or letters. Let's be honest, if you're just starting out with hardly any money, can you afford to send 5,000 postcards and letters out? And you might be lucky to get 1 or 2% to get a reply, okay? And it takes a while for those 1 or 2% to respond to you. I need leads today, not in a month or two, okay? So I'm not saying this is dead, I'm just saying there's got to be a better way, okay? Now, does anybody here, did they ever door knock pre-foreclosures?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I've done it too, it sucks, okay? Ladies should not do this at all, because when I began in Charlotte, nobody has burglar alarms, they all own pit bulls. Okay? So you gotta, there's gotta be a better way than knocking on doors. So what else did I do? Driving all over town. Now, man, I love LA, but I certainly don't like traffic. Could you imagine every single day going out driving for dollars? No way. No way. There's a better way, okay? And follow-up system. How many of you are following up every week? Because people you talk to don't always ready to sign a deal now. It takes them a month before they might say, okay, I've got the deal. So you got to constantly follow up, right? And if you don't have a follow-up system in place, you're going to lose deals. I'm going to show you how our system does it for you automatically so you don't have to, okay? Any agents in this room? Okay, 1 to 2 agents, okay. Now, there are good agents, and there are great agents, and there are bad agents, okay? When I first began, I was very good at finding all the bad agents, because all they did every time a house for sale is they would put it on the MLS, sit back, and wait. And I thought, well, any idiot can do that. So what I need to teach you how to do is to sell your houses faster yourself. Now in California, I do recommend using an agent to sell your property, just keep track of all the legalities, but you can do the system anywhere and you don't have to use an agent, okay? But literally, if you can sell your houses yourself, you're going to be saving a lot more money. Let me ask you this next question. Do you believe there's a ton of deals out there if you had the money to do them?
Yeah.
If you had $1 million, do you think you'd have trouble finding a deal? Nope. Okay. And that's the thing. It's because there's so much money people want to throw at you if you have a deal. Okay. So I couldn't find money when I began, and my common problems when I started out investing is I had no credibility. I was a brand new person. I had a poor pre-screening person. I was talking to too many looky-loo buyers and too many unmotivated sellers, wasting my time. I had limited time as it was. I had a weak follow process, limited funds. I was sick of getting beat by other investors. Man, I tell you what, this business was going nowhere. I was going broke my first 6 months, and here I was thinking I was going to have this great lifestyle. Okay? So I want to prevent you from going through this first 6 months that I went through, and I want to make it very, very easy for you to get started and start doing deals this month or next month, okay? 30 to 60 days. That's how fast I was getting rich in real estate. Okay, you don't want to drive one of those, okay? That's not fun. So I want to have a wake-up call here is that 80% of investors will quit or fail within their first year. And the reason they do that is